Hello YouTube world, my name is Nicholas Montez, and you're watching my YouTube channel, The Teenage Movie Critic, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, everybody. In today's video, I wanted to do a pretty interesting MCU video. I'm a little late to this, because I wanted, no wait, never mind, I'm not late to this. I'm thinking I'm late to this, because I didn't do much today, to be honest. I exercised, and colored, and watched a movie, but if you call that something, then maybe there is something good out of that, but I don't know. Today we're doing an MCU tier list, but basically a few weeks ago they announced that after Secret Wars, the MCU is going to be rebooted, and some characters will be recasted, and it kind of had me questioning, what is this new universe going to look like? What characters are going to be back, and also what characters are coming back with new recastations, what characters are going to return and what characters are going to come back as new people with new actors playing them. So basically I wanted to kind of take a look at that and who will be there. So let's kind of take a look at this. So basically I made a tier list of five lists where it's here to stay, basically the main characters that I think we're going to see throughout most of the cosmic saga, or the next saga of Marvel movies. Most likely, which means they are likely to stay, but they're not quite there yet, but I see them in the future. Maybe they stay dead, meaning maybe because they have some potential of appearing. They stay dead, meaning I don't think they're going to continue with those characters at all, and then recasted. But recasted doesn't technically mean, a bad thing. It kind of means like, oh, they're going to come back, but they're just going to be played by a different person. And it can kind of mean the good or better, because sometimes, certain actors, contracts kind of run out, so they get new people. And we'll start off some easy characters. We'll start off with the Fantastic Four. And obviously, if you know how the MCU is going right now, that they originally in this universe, we saw them in a whole new universe in 828. Jack Kirby's birthday. And so I think that this group of characters is going to be introduced in Here to Stay. Easy. Fantastic Four is Marvel's first family, and in many cases, I think they may be the characters that will continue the MCU forward. That, the Avengers era is essentially over. Yeah, we're probably going to get Avengers movies once in a while, but in many cases, maybe the Fantastic Four movies and the X-Men movies might be the bigger event movies. We then have Galactus, and because he didn't exactly die in Fantastic Four First Steps, he's most likely to come back in the Cosmic Saga. And I don't know if I see him as an Avengers villain, but I definitely see him coming back, but I don't know if he's a part of the crew if they decide to use him again. Then we have the last Panther, which is basically Anika Noni Rose character from Eyes of Wakanda, basically the future Black Panther that came from the future to warn two Wakandans to put back the axe so that way the Wakandans can live. This is a character that, honestly, I think this was one of the best plots of Eyes of Wakanda, because it kind of set up something for the future, something potential they could possibly do in the third Black Panther movie. And honestly, I've been struggling to think what the third Black Panther movie can possibly be about, and I kind of have a bit of a better understanding. And if we're going to do this, plus a recast of T'Challa, which we'll talk about in a little bit, T'Challa's son and Shuri's Black Panther, and we're going to have like 4 or 5 different Black Panthers, that's going to be awesome, but it might be overstuffed. I don't know. It's Ryan Coogler. He'll probably be able to handle it. But I'm going to put this one in maybe, because there is potential that they could do this. Then we have Tony Stark, Iron Man. So, of course, Robert Downey Jr., he is lovingly playing the role. However, I don't know if, unfortunately, this character is going to be recast. We technically already knew this because it was reported a long time ago that he was going to be one of the characters that would be recasted. Now, if we're going to get another Iron Man movie, I don't exactly know, but it would be weird to get another Iron Man movie that just continues where the character left off, especially if he died. I think it would be better if we just had a universe where he just existed alongside in the universe, and he just exists. He's just a character that exists in the universe, and while he would be a great part of the franchise, he also would not be the big standout character more than everything else. It would give the chance for other characters to stand out, even though there would be some fun interactions there. We then have Pepper Potts, and honestly, I'm going to put this character in maybe just because there could be something that we could do with her. But at the same time, I really don't know, because we haven't seen her since Endgame. Now, she may be in the Armor Wars movie, but honestly, I don't know. Ironmonger. Yeah, he's dead. Hold up, let me see something real quick. Did I include this character in here? No, I did not. Okay, we'll get to it in a minute. Yeah, Ironmonger, he's dead. I think what they did with him in Iron Man was fine, so not really much else to do with him. Christine Everhart, yeah, a character that, she dated Justin Hammer. Nothing much to do with her character. War Machine, another pretty good character that we're probably going to see, maybe never, but, I like Don Cheadle, so he's good. Vision, well, he's signing up for the Vision series, so maybe we could see him there. Phil Coulson, to be honest, I would have loved to see him in other Marvel projects after the Avengers, but obviously, he was then resurrected in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and I haven't finished Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm currently on season 2, so I'm not exactly sure. But what I can say is, if they were able to bring him back, that would be cool. But he is an original character in the MCU, so unfortunately, he's dead to me. We then have the 10 Rings characters, all of them. For me, we heard that they might appear in Vision Quest. I kept calling the series White Vision, but no, the show's called Vision Quest. And I'll put this in maybe. Then we have William. William is a character that was, of course, in the first Iron Man movie. And the last time we saw it was in Far From Home. Honestly, I thought it was interesting that we saw him in Far From Home, but I don't know exactly where he went. Did he get arrested? Was he killed in the crossfire? What happened to this guy? And you're literally talking to the guy that played Ralphie in A Christmas Story. Tony Stark even makes a joke about it. But I don't know. I don't know what they could do with this character. I'm just going to probably say dead for now, because I don't really know what he's about. Hulk. Hulk is frustrating because I think Mark Ruffalo's version of the Hulk is fun, but at the same time, there could have been a better role for this guy, for me. And especially what they've been doing with the last few years since Infinity War and Endgame, they haven't done the best job with him. Now, he is currently going to be in Spider-Man Brand New Day, so we'll see, maybe we can get the Savage Hulk back. But I can't really deny anything about that. I'm probably going to put him in recast. Abomination, I think this character actually has potential to come back. Because Emil Blonsky, we saw him in She-Hulk, and he did pretty good as the character. But I don't really... If they decide to do a Thunderbolts sequel, then maybe he can come back. But I can't guarantee that, because those are my theories for the first Thunderbolts movie. But the first Thunderbolts movie was a very different setup than what I imagined in my head. where it was more of a heroic movie than like a Suicide Squad movie. So I'll put this one in most likely. Betty Ross, we only saw her once since Incredible Hulk, which was in Brave New World, going to see her father in the raft. It was interesting, and I do kind of want to see more of her character, but I don't really know what else you could really do. So I'll put her in maybe. Red Hulk, a.k.a. Thunderbolt Ross, a.k.a. Harrison Ford. I think there's a high chance we could see him. You know, it is Thunderbolts, after all, and Red Hulk isn't Thunderbolts. So he has to be there. Leader. He is one of the main characters of the comics that is like a big Avengers threat. But there's also like an episode of Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes where like he kind of works with the Avengers and he's like an always going on Avengers villain. But considering that a lot of people didn't like him in Brave New World, which I kind of liked him, he was alright. I don't know if they're going to bring him back. He didn't die, he's in the raft right now. But I don't know. Guess we'll put this in most likely. Black Widow. Black Widow is fun. Actually, no, wait, I'm not talking about the movie, I'm talking about the character. Yeah, she needs to get recast. She's the character. Scarlett Johansson is done playing the character. She needs a new casting lead, and that's basically it. And now as to who should play her, I have no clue. If we were talking back in 2019 and the MCU was rebooting after Endgame, I would have probably chosen Emily Blunt, but I don't know if she would have been too old for now. But I don't know. Whiplash. Yeah, this character is dead. To be honest, I don't really need to see more of Whiplash. He's fine. Justin Hammer, though, is a character that I'm very interested in seeing. Mainly because that is a character that is so much fun. The last time we saw him was in that All Hail the King short film from 2013 in like the DVD of Iron Man 3. And he was in the prison cell with the Mandarin, with Trevor Slattery. And that was a very fun character. And honestly, I've been dying to see what they could do with this character more, because it's like the fact that they leave so much things off in the distance early on. There's so much potential you could actually do it. You could actually focus on interesting characters. So I'm gonna put this one as maybe. Thor. It kind of confuses me because on one hand, part of me wants to say most likely and here to stay. I can't say maybe because we know that Thor is coming back, no matter what. The big question is, where is Thor? Because we know Thor 5 is coming. We know Thor 5 is going to be on the way, that it's going to be a little bit more serious, and it's going to be a different approach for the character. The third time that they're trying to do the character of Thor to where they went serious, it didn't work. They went funny, it worked the first time, and then the second time they tried doing it, it didn't work. But then this third time, maybe it could work with adding little hints of comedy, but because you're on Earth, you kind of also have the advantage of going to different galaxies and universes and planets to where you can have some fun, but enjoy the seriousness of it. Like, enjoy the grandeur of it. But I'm going to put this most likely, because I like Thor. Chris Hemsworth, no matter what, he plays the character well. So, yeah, I'm putting this here. Actually, I'm putting most likely. Top of most likely. Loki is also an interesting one, because we know he's going to be in Doomsday. He's one of the few characters that was confirmed for Doomsday. But I don't know what's happening with him after Secret Wars. I don't know if he's going to get killed for the second time or for the millionth time. I don't know if he's going to be, like, doing this, doing that. I don't know. I'm going to put him as maybe, but at the very bottom, because this character is very mischievous. We then have Odin, which I would like to see something different with them if they decide to reboot the Thor franchise and maybe bring back Thor, but I also don't really know if I see that. And I also don't know if Anthony Hopkins is interested in coming back as Thor's dad. So I'll put this one in They Stay Dead. Even though I think it would be interesting to see, Odin's glory days and what he was like as a king. Frigga, another great character. Great mom to Thor, but once again, I think she has to stay dead. Unfortunately. I would like to see more of her, though. The Lady Sif and the Warriors 3, characters that had potential, but they were very flawed. And, you know, some of them can't even come back. Like, the guy that played Volstagg, he died a few years ago. He passed away. So, and I don't know if any of these other actors are even interested in playing these characters again, especially since most of them are dead. Actually, all of them are dead besides Lady Sif, which is kind of shocking if I'm going to be honest. But I'm going to put this one in They Stay Dead. Lady Thor. I think that this has potential. Because I think that they had some potential in giving her the hammer, but then they just killed her off because she had cancer. I think that you probably could have done this if you established it better, and I like the arc that they went for her in Love and Thunder, but like it could have lasted way longer. Like, come on. But I'm gonna put in maybe just because I want to see this character more. Then we have Darcy Lewis and Eric Selvig. I'm gonna be honest; these characters, I don't. The only time I will say, Eric Selvig was in in 2 of the Avengers movies, and Darcy Lewis was in WandaVision. That was the last time we ever saw her. Well, actually, the last time we ever saw her was in Love and Thunder. But at the same time, I don't know if we're ever going to see these characters again. But I'm going to put them in Stay Dead for now. Just leave them alone. Don't really need to focus on them. And we also did see variants of them in What If, so no. Hold up, I'm going to go fill my water cup up, and then I'll be right back. Captain America, Steve Rogers. Yeah, this character is getting recast. He was one of the confirmed characters to be recasted. And yeah, so he deserves to be recasted. Then we have Bucky. It's interesting because we just got him in the Thunderbolts. He's officially part of a new team. But there's also that conflict with the Thunderbolts now being the new Avengers, and there's like that civil war that's going to be happening in Doomsday. So, and common fact, Bucky is the longest character that's ever appeared in all the Marvel movies, in all the Marvel projects, to where he's literally one of the first characters since Phase 1. He goes a long way back. So I don't know. Could they put him as a hero and live him as Thunderbolts? Or would they kill him off? I'm going to put him as here to stay. Just because I think that he could actually stay. He probably could. And I don't really see him getting recast. I think Sebastian Stan likes playing this role. So, yeah. Howling Commandos. What's actually funny is that I liked these characters. I like them better than Thor's friends. And they worked better as a team. I know we're probably never going to see them because, if they decide to do a Captain America reboot, but like a reboot of the origin story, and we get like a better version of that where, the war part of it is actually exciting. But at the same time, I don't think we're going to get that. So I'm probably going to put them in just dead for now. But it would still be very cool to see them. Peggy Carter, once again, she has to stay dead, but, you know, it would be lucky to see her. Red Skull. Now, Red Skull is a character that I think we have potential of seeing. I don't know exactly any comics or anything about what happened with him, but what happened after First Avenger, he was Guardian of the Soul Stone. We saw this twice in Infinity War, and then we saw him in Endgame, but that was the 2014 version. But literally, in timeline order, we have not seen him since Infinity War. So he's like out there in the universe somewhere, probably with new extra powers. And the Soul Stone's gone, so he doesn't really have anything to guard anymore. He can leave Vormir now. He has no curse. So like, once he was freed, was he killed? Like, he can literally go and fight 2 Captain Americas. Maybe if they actually reboot, maybe there's a chance that he could probably, like... There could be a chance to where he can fight 2 Captain Americas, and he could be the president. And he can shape the government as it once was. But, like, it's... Like, they could basically do a president storyline where instead of the Hulk, it's Red Skull. And they could do Alexander Pierce, but differently. I don't know, I think it would be interesting. I'm going to put him as here to stay. I think they could develop something really interesting with that character. Arnim Zola, I would really love to see him. And honestly, I know that his whole machine got crashed and like destroyed in Winter Soldier. But honestly, I don't think the character is dead. Because we literally saw in What If that Black Widow and Hawkeye went to the Siberian camp, that they literally can access Zola through the other computer. So I think there's hope that he might come back. And maybe we can actually get the comic accurate Zola. Because we kind of got it in What If, but not really. So I'll put this in most likely. For me. Nick Fury, I think this character might get recast just because Samuel Jackson, he's getting old. And the whole reason Nick Fury is like the way he is because of the Ultimates comics. And if anything, this is not the comic accurate Nick Fury. So if anything, maybe there's a chance we can actually get the new original Nick Fury and him lead the MCU. So I'm going to put this one in recasting. Maria Hill, I would say dead to me, but at the same time, there's some things that like happen with her in the comics, or at least in Earth's Mightiest Heroes, to where she literally becomes director of S.H.I.E.L.D., and they do some pretty interesting things with her character. So I would like to see her character again. So I'll put this one in maybe. The Other and the Chitauri. Yeah, I'm fine with not seeing them anymore. They're dead. We already got enough Chitauri time, so it's okay. The Wenwu, the Mandarin. To be honest, I think there was a lot of potential for this character to be great, but honestly, he's dead. I don't know how you can bring him back. I don't know how you can explain this. So, even though it's a character I really want to see come back, he's staying dead for now. The fake Mandarin, Ultra Killian, yeah, he stays dead. He stays dead. Let's see. Ty Simpkins, the little boy from Iron Man 3. Oh yeah, this character, he has to come back. The question is, will he come back as an official character, or will he just be like out there? I'm going to put him right here. Yeah, I'll put him here. Malekith, oh yeah, he stays dead. All the Dark Elves, they stay dead. Alexander Pierce, he stays dead. Mainly because he's not an interesting character. All the other characters are so flashy. Falcon, who is technically a Avenger right now. Well, actually not an Avenger. He's Captain America right now. Yeah, he's here to stay. You know, we're basically, if they decide to recast Steve Rogers, we basically have two Captain Americas in our universe. Sharon Carter, you know, the last time we saw her was in Falcon and Winter Soldier. I believe so. And, yeah, it would be interesting to see what they do with her, but she's already been evil enough. Unless she was a Skrull, then that would make a lot more sense, but I don't really know. Hawkeye. Makes me wonder if they're going to... It kind of makes me think they're going to recast him, because I don't think that they're going to be... because he said that they want to do Hawkeye Season 2, but he doesn't really want to do it because he wants to get enough pay. So to be honest, I'm going to put this one in recasted. So yeah, half of the original Avengers are going to get recasted for me. They probably should get recasted. Star-Lord. Star-Lord is a character that, surprisingly, I'm actually going to put as here to stay. It's shocking. I obviously don't know when the Star-Lord special is, but of all the Guardians, he seems like one of those characters that is returning. And it seems like they actually do have a future for him. Gamora, yeah, she's dead. Now, it would be fun to see the other version of Gamora. Now, I'm fine with the version of Gamora that we have in the animated shows. But to be honest, would I want to see that version of Gamora in live action? I don't think so. So, I'm going to put her stay dead. Rocket Raccoon, I would love to see the character come back. Hold up. Since he's leading the new Guardians, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But, I like the new Guardians. Well, I mean, not really, but I don't know. But Rocket, I think he could probably come back. They don't have anything planned with this new version of the Guardians, but it would be cool to see something of him. So I'm gonna put him in maybe. Drax. Would be fun to see where his character goes and learns to be a dad again. But, unfortunately, Dave Bautista does not want to continue playing the character, so I have to kill him off. He has to stay dead. Groot. So we've seen over 3 versions of Groot so far. We've seen adult Groot, we've seen baby Groot, we've seen teenage Groot, and now swole Groot. That's like 4 different Groots. Or really 2 Groots, but one has evolved over time. To be honest, after Guardians 3, we've kind of been seeing Groot, like, in I Am Groot series, but it's a prequel version. So, honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing Groot again, to be honest. You know, it's Groot. Come on. Ronan, yeah, this character is dead. They did what they could do with him. And he was alright in Earth's Mightiest Heroes, but whatever. Korath, was he in any animated shows? I don't care about him. Even though the actor, like, introduced me to that guy, I don't really care. Nebula, once again, would be really fun if we saw this character again. But I don't know if Karen Gillan wants to play this character again. But it would be fun and interesting. Yondu. Would be fun to see this character again, but once again, he's dead. He can't come back. I'm gonna put him in here. The Ravagers plus, I guess, Kraglin. It would kind of be fun to see them, especially in the Cosmic Saga, to where it's basically focusing more on them, on the Ravagers and Sylvester Stallone's characters, and get a new cosmic side of them. I think would be cool, but I don't really know. So I'm gonna put them here. What is that? Oh, it's Ultron. Ultron. Oh yeah, there's been heavy rumors that Ultron might come back. And a lot of people are thinking he might come back in White Vision. Which does make a little bit of sense, to be honest. So I'll put him in maybe. And if they do decide to bring him back in Vision Quest, or even as like the comic accurate Ultron, it would make a lot of sense, and it could be a lot more terrifying. Claw. This is a character that was so heavily handed, but honestly, I don't know what else they could do with him. It would be fun to have him around, but honestly, I have to put him in Stay Dead, unfortunately. Ant-Man, Paul Rudd, you know, as great as he doesn't age, he's kind of getting old, and I don't know if he's fit to play this character anymore, so I'm probably going to have to put this one in recast. Hank Pym. So, it's kind of interesting because I think Michael Douglas is officially, like, done with acting. So, I'm actually going to put this one as recast. And the reason I say that, it's not because Hank Pym was a bad version. Michael Douglas was a bad version of Hank Pym. The reason I say this is because this was not we never got to see the Hank Pym version of Ant-Man. We only got to see the Scott Lang version. While the Scott Lang version is fun, it seems to me like the Hank Pym version of Ant-Man has a lot more layers. Because when you watch Earth's Mightiest Heroes, which honestly is such a great Avengers cartoon, because it handles all the characters in such unique ways, and Hank Pym is such an interesting character in that show, to where he doesn't really want to be a superhero, and because that he built Ultron, he kind of made it himself his fault, to where he even becomes the Yellow Jacket, and even they kind of told that story in What If, to where he actually becomes the Yellow Jacket, to where the suit took a toll on him. It was an interesting story that they did, but if they're able to do a reboot of the universe, and they're able to go back to the 1960s world where the Fantastic Four live, then we can have that version of Ant-Man and Hank Pym very well done. Evangeline Lilly, yeah, this character is probably going to be recasted. Since I can't see her as dead because Ant-Man and the Wasp, they go together, you know. So, but also Evangeline Lilly said that she's pretty much done with acting, so she's like retired from it. So, yeah. Luis and the X-Con crew, would definitely love to see them again, but once again, if they decide to reboot the Ant-Man franchise, they might go, because they're original characters, and I don't think they bring those types of characters back to other franchises. Like, the Rent guy from Spider-Man, they didn't bring back that in the Andrews or the Toms, so I'm going to put these characters in maybe, just because, I mean, it was a big fumble that we never got them back in Quantumania, but, you know, it would be fun if we got to see them, like, in another universe, or, like, we got to see Kurt interacting with some of the Avengers in What If. Like, it would be cool to see, like, the Ant-Man characters interacting with, like, other MCU heroes or something. I don't know. Cassie. Very messed up performance, but honestly, I think they should probably just kill off they shouldn't, I don't know if they should continue the character. Now, she has potential because I don't really know if she had any charm. Her performance was weird. I'm going to put her as recast because I think the character was poorly casted. Yellow Jacket. Oh, yeah. Yeah. This character, stay dead. Or actually, you know what? I'm going to change this. Claw I want them to bring back. I want them to bring back. And Yellow Jacket, they stay dead because you literally tried doing something 2 times with him. Once with Yellow Jacket and make him the villain, and then you had him be MODOK, and that didn't work at all. So you tried doing it twice, and it didn't work. So you already did it twice. Then we have Black Panther, King T'Challa, and yeah, this character, of all the characters on this list, he needs to be recasted. You know, Chadwick Boseman was such a great T'Challa, and he had such a great future ahead of him to play the character with Namor, and, telling all these future stories with the character, and it would have been something so cool, but as to who plays him, I have no clue. I really don't have no clue. Spider-Man, Tom Holland, Peter Parker. I'm going to put this character in the here to stay. This character is here to stay. Now, there are rumors that he might be a character that, because Tom Holland, he might take a break from acting after 2027, like after Secret Wars, because he's going to be in Secret Wars. Everybody's going to be in Secret Wars. But the thing is, depending on how much Brand New Day does, and especially since him and Zendaya, his engaged wife, is doing, I guess it both depends on how they feel, if they want to continue doing it. So, I guess it all depends on that. Zemo, I have high potential that Zemo can come back. Much like Abomination, he has to come back in the Thunderbolt sequel if there is one. So, yeah. I'm going to do that. Crossbones. Crossbones was a character that I think was heavily poorly utilized. Because he was introduced to Winter Soldier, paying respect to Captain America, and then he was just killed off way too quickly. I would love to see this character again, because he was kind of fun. Doctor Strange. It's interesting to say about this character, because last time we saw him was back in Multiverse of Madness, and then we haven't seen him since because he's, trying to stop an incursion or something. I don't know. But we all know it's happening with him. So, I'm gonna put him in maybe. Or actually, I'm gonna put him most likely. Or actually, you know what? I'm gonna put him at the bottom. Yeah, I'm gonna put him here. Because, he is one of our main characters. He'll probably be one of the main characters moving forward. Wong is definitely the most likely character. Just because we don't really know if the Midnight Suns thing is happening. But, yeah. Scarlet Witch, she's currently dead at the moment. So I don't know if they'll bring her back. It would be fun to. I would like to see the character back. But I really don't know. Quicksilver. Quicksilver is dead. And to be honest, I'm not that into speedsters, so whether they brought him back or not, I don't really care. So, they stayed dead. Dormammu. Oh yeah, if we're entering the Cosmic Saga and stuff like that, well, actually, no, wait. I'm going to put him as most likely next to Galactus, because he could appear in the next Doctor Strange movie. And Clea, Charlize Theron's character, was literally a multiverse character. Well, actually, it was the daughter of Dormammu. The Ancient One. It would be cool to see the guy version of this character, but I really don't know. I'll put her as maybe. Mantis. Mantis, to be honest, I have no complaints of seeing her. Just to get a small series with Palm Clementiev, kind of exploring who she is. I think that would be really interesting to watch. Ego. Ego, I don't really see much else what they could do with him. He was fine for what they did. The Sovereign, oh yeah, they're dead. Such terrible villains. I get it, it was the setup for Adam Warlock, but really, they failed this character bad. Vulture, Shocker, and the Tinkerer and Scorpion. So, if I'm going to be honest, Vulture, obviously, I don't know if he's going to come back in Brand New Day, essentially because he's, like, in the Morbius universe right now, but also, like, he probably could have come back. Hold up. I'm gonna put him. Cause I don't know, cause we see Vulture a lot in the. I hear we see Vulture a lot in the comics. I'll put him as here to stay, cause you know he seems like a very safe character. Shockers, I guess same thing, but I'm gonna put him as a maybe because we don't really know if he'll come back. And then Tinkerer, same thing. And then Scorpion, yeah, he's definitely here to stay. But, yeah. But it also depends, will Spider-Man kill him? Will Spider-Man kill them? I don't know. MJ and Ned, it kind of depends if they get killed off in Brand New Day. I doubt MJ will die, but you never know if Ned could die. So I'll say most likely. Okay, now Flash Thompson, the bully of Peter Parker in No Way Home. Yeah, unfortunately, I think this character needs to be recast. And I'm putting them right at the top. I care more about like the top of the characters that need to be recast. Actually, let me fix this real quick. Let me fix this. Yeah, so I don't really care of who plays Scott Lang and Hope Van Dyne. The characters I just moved right here. Actually, no, wait. There. Honestly, I just care about those core characters like that. And Flash Thompson, you know, I think the version of Flash Thompson from the Tobey movies was such a perfect version of that character because, like, he was the perfect size. And Flash Thompson in the comics becomes Agent Venom. So basically, Venom is a good guy in the comics, and this version of Flash Thompson is not becoming that at all. I do not see him like that at all. So there's no hope for that guy, unfortunately. Hela obviously loves her as a villain, and I don't know if we could see her anything back though. Would be like this? Would be lucky to see her back though. Valkyrie, not sure if she's coming back. To be honest, she should have died in Ragnarok, in Love and Thunder, but they decided to keep her alive for whatever reason. I'm going to put her as maybe, because we could probably see her again. But it also depends if Tessa Thompson wants to come back and do it again. Korg. I liked Korg, so I'll put him in maybe. Grand Master. Now, I'll put him in here in this maybe because he's not dead, but we could see a Planet Hulk movie to where we could see basically what Hulk's life was like, you know, during Age of Ultron and Civil War. Killmonger. We kind of know he's going to come back, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be through the ancestral plane. So I'll put him in as maybe. Then we have Njobu, T'Challa's uncle. I think this character actually has faith to come back. You know, it's Njobu. And the reason I say he can come back is because we probably could see a story with him during Oakland in the 1980s with Zuri. So maybe we could see like a younger version of him before he got killed by T'Chaka. Spoiler. So I'll put him as maybe. Zuri, same thing, really. T'Chaka, honestly, this is a character that I actually want to see again, and I want to see him in the Black Panther action. I think that might like Hank Pym too. I think, to be honest, I was perfectly fine with the character that the actor that they chose for, T'Chaka, but I want to see him more. I want to see him more in the action. I want to see, like, what's this version of Black Panther that we haven't seen before. Ramonda. Once again, I want to learn about T'Chaka and Ramonda's backstory and stuff. I want to see their characters. Nakia, she was such a strong character in the Black Panther movies. I think she could probably come back. I don't know if she was like a new character from when Black Panther came out, but she was a cool character. But yeah. Shuri, who is basically essentially the new Black Panther. I'll put her, because I don't think they're going to abandon her character after Secret Wars. I think they might try to do multiple Black Panthers. So I'm going to put this one as here to stay. Plus, we also have Black Panther 3 coming out, so we might get that. Okoye. Okay, Okoye, she's basically like leader of the Midnight Angels now. I did forget like the Anake character, but she's basically included with Okoye, but she probably could show up, especially in Black Panther 3, so I'll put her in maybe. Ross. Ross is a character. He could be White Wolf, since he was kind of adopted by T'Challa and stuff. I think that would be interesting. M'Baku. I don't know if I could put him as like one of the main characters, but we're definitely going to see a pretty good amount of him. I think he's going to be in Doomsday. Winston Duke is in Doomsday. Yeah, he is. So I'm going to put him as, there. Thanos. So we're kind of going to see a multiverse version of him in the Multiverse Avengers ride. And, it would be cool to see Thanos again. To be honest, I would like to explore, like, would Thanos ever have a chance to come back? I mean, yeah, they return the Infinity Stones, but, like, isn't there a way to fix what happened to Tony Stark? Like, they can just fix him? But at the same time, like, they don't want to do that because it's the earned ending that counts. So I have to put Stay Dead. Even though I kind of want to see Thanos back. The Black Order, same thing. I want to see these characters back. They were so interesting to me. Ghost. Well, she's actually going to be in Thunderbolts. So, she's actually one of the few remaining characters. Let me just put her up there. Sonny Birch. Yeah, this character was stupid. Bill Foster, aka Goliath. This is a character that I had high hopes for. I think we could have gotten something really cool with him, but we kind of got a jock. And it's Lawrence Fishburne too. And this was kind of my introduction to his acting, and it was all right. He was kind of fun. I'll put him in most likely because we don't really know what happened to him after Ant-Man and the Wasp. Skrulls, yeah, we're gonna throw them all in the bed. To be honest, I think that this plotline of the Skrulls was like a failed attempt, because you really could have created something so cool with these characters, and you just ruined them. The Star Force. Yeah, we're just gonna throw them out of the bag, because we don't really need them. Mysterio, I would kind of like to see Mysterio back, but I think for what they did with him, he was pretty good for what they did. Though the plot of what he did didn't make a whole lot of sense. So, the Elementals. Now, even though the Elementals were fake, like the Sandman and the Molten Man, we could probably see the actual versions of those characters in future Spider-Man movies. So, there's probably a maybe 4 there. Agatha, well, she's not, I don't think she's dead, but I also don't really care for seeing her again, so. The Flag Smashers, yeah, Flag Smashers, I'm gonna put, in They Stay Dead. I don't care about seeing them ever again. TVA. Alright, so now we're getting into some of the Phase 4 stuff, and really most of the Multiverse Saga stuff. TVA, I think is, yeah, I don't know if they're gonna survive. I think that they were talking about wanting that they're gonna do like a fight scene in the TVA. That would be kind of cool, and it would be more like how the Marvel movies are with their action and stuff. So I think it could do pretty cool, but I'll put it as maybe. We're definitely seeing the TVA again, that's for sure. The Guardians of the Multiverse, as fun as this would be, I don't really care about seeing any of these other characters. I only care about T'Challa, Star-Lord, that other version of Killmonger, and honestly, none of the characters I really care for. Honestly. Doctor Strange is dead, Captain Carter is dead, Chadwick Boseman has passed away, so he can't play T'Challa, Star-Lord unless they do it with the recasting of him. Killmonger, why would they bring him back? You already have a goofy Thor, and then the new Gamora is cool, I guess, but whatever. Stay dead. Kate Bishop, oh yeah, she's definitely coming back. I think everyone can agree that Haley Steinfeld was one of the best parts of the Hawkeye series, and we do kind of know that the Marvel movies that Hawkeye is getting a season 2, and we know that if Jeremy Renner isn't coming back, we know Kate Bishop will come back, and I'm all down for that, to be honest. I am all down for that. Actually, you know what? I'm switching this, and I'm putting it over here. We then have Swordsman. I forgot the guy's name. Jack. This was a fun character. He was in Daredevil Born Again. He was also in Hawkeye. I think he's fun. And I would like to see him again. I think he could be fun. I'm going to put him in maybe. Kingpin, oh yeah, he is so here to stay. So here to stay. They basically want to do a Kingpin, like a Daredevil storyline every single year. So, they could literally, bring him back for every season. I was going to say Electro. Echo, Echo is a character that, honestly, I don't know if she'll ever come back. but I could see her coming back in maybe Daredevil and actually coming to help Daredevil. But we just have to wait and see, honestly. Because she was kind of an interesting character. Shang-Chi, to be honest, I kind of have some faith that he might come back. You know, the actor has so much faith in being in the role that it's like he's having so much fun being in the MCU, even though he's barely appeared in any projects. So, I'll put him above Captain America, to be honest. His sister, they announced back then that we were going to get like something with her sister, but it hasn't happened yet. So I'm not sure. I'll put her in the maybe tier. Same thing. Katie. We could probably see her in Shang-Chi too, but I don't know. In the world of Tao Lo plus Michelle Yeoh's character, maybe. Then we have the Mandarin, the fake Mandarin, Trevor Slattery. I don't know if he's gonna like. Will he survive in Wonder Man? I kind of see him dead. I don't really know what else they could do with these characters, to be honest. Eternals. The Eternals, I'm gonna be honest, they wasted these characters in their first movie. I don't care if they ever appear in the MCU ever again. The fact that they made a whole episode around one of the Eternals with Agatha was not that great, to be honest. I'm gonna put this one in They Stay Dead. The Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire and Andrew. I'm gonna put it most likely. They're obviously not here to stay because they're not part of the MCU timeline. But I do want to see them again for at least one more film. Because in my opinion, I think that these are characters that they deserve to be in the spotlight. You know, Tobey deserves his 4th movie, and Andrew deserves his 3rd one. Like, they need to get their stories finished or continued. The Sinister Six, kinda. To be honest, it would be cool to see them in Secret Wars. And I would like to see, you know, their own versions of this in their own Spider-Man, in Tom's Spider-Man. So, I think it would be kind of cool, most likely. And if we get the Tobey and Andrew movies, we could probably see them again in their movies. J. Jonah Jameson, as crazy as this sounds, yeah, he is a character that is here to stay. Yeah, this character is here to stay. Moon Knight, to be honest, I kind of see it, but I also don't. Because we haven't seen him since 2022, but Oscar Isaac really nailed the role down to a T. I'll put him in here to stay. They've also been talking about doing Moon Knight Season 2, so I think there is potential that they could do it. The Scarlet Scarab. Scarlet Scarab, she was fine, literally, but she was kind of interesting. I'll go with it. Where did I put it? What was I talking about? Oh shit, I forgot. Oh yeah, no wait, Scarlet Scarab. You could bring her back if you want to, if you have a story to tell with her. America Chavez, she was cool, and I wouldn't bother seeing her come back. The Illuminati, this version of the Illuminati, they were pretty lame. You know, Mr. Fantastic, smartest man alive, tells Black Bolt's weakness. And then, you know, Captain Carter gets killed by her own shield. Black Bolt dies instantly. Captain Marvel loses her powers. And then they literally replace the Doctor Strange. It's not, the team's not even comic book accurate. It's half comic accurate with like a few MCU characters. But I would like to see a MCU version of the Illuminati. And that question is, will we ever get that? I don't really know, but I have a feeling they might do that. Especially if we're going to head into the 828 universe. Miss Marvel. Oh yeah, she's a character that we're going to see again. Iman Vellani's having so much fun with the character, and much like Kate Bishop, you know, she's putting together a team. So yeah. Her family, however, I think we have a high chance of seeing. And it's surprising to me of how fun her family was. So yeah. Heimdall. Would be fun to see him, but he's dead. So, and I don't know exactly if there's much more to do with him, so dead. Gore the God Butcher. A dead character, unfortunately. She-Hulk might stay, but I really don't know. I'm putting most likely. Then we have all the villains that wanted to get She-Hulk from She-Hulk. Yeah, they're all dead to me. Werewolf by Night? Well, if they're going to go in the supernatural element, then hell yeah, we're keeping him in the here to stay. If they want to do the Midnight Suns, if they want to do all that, then yeah, he's here to stay. Namor, to be honest, they're doing Black Panther 3, and I don't see him dying in Secret Wars. In Doomsday. I don't see him dying in Doomsday. If he's here to help out with the Wakandans and stuff, and helping out the Avengers, then hell, this is going to be a lit series. So, I'll put him in most likely because we don't really know most of what's going on. Ironheart, I could see her coming back. But to be honest, I really enjoyed her character because she was a very fun character. The new Guardians, I could see them also coming back. High Evolutionary, now, you're probably wondering, how is this character even a thing? Well, the last time he did survive the final battle of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And Drax basically while all the animals are getting on the other ship, the High Evolutionary is being brought onto the Guardians ship. And he's on nowhere, locked up. So, I'm interested to see that. The question is, will they be able to redeem his character? Probably not. I think they probably should have killed him off. But, he's probably dead to me. Kang the Conqueror, I hate to say this, but he's dead. He is dead to me. They messed up this character right in the first movie, and he's killed by ants, and he was supposed to be the next Thanos. And they messed that up so bad. Goose, not Captain Marvel, Goose, the cat. I would like to see him again. He was a fun little character. Deadpool and Wolverine, oh yeah, they're here to stay. Now, I know that Wolverine is going to be back, but will he come back as... We know Deadpool is coming back with Ryan Reynolds and all that stuff, but will Wolverine come back with Hugh Jackman? That is not answerable at the moment, but I know we could probably get something good. The others. So we have Blade, Elektra, X-23, and Gambit. To be honest, I know we probably won't be seeing Blade again. Probably won't be seeing Elektra again. But there could be a high chance we could see X-23 and Gambit again. With X-23, I mean, you know, we have another Wolverine, a Wolverine without any universe. So maybe they can collide. And then also Gambit doesn't have a universe. He doesn't remember his own universe. So I would personally like it if he collided with our main MCU timeline. So I'm going to put this one in here to stay. Mainly for Gambit and X-23, though. Then we have the Brotherhood. Yeah, I don't see them coming back. Besides Magneto, but yeah. I don't know how they're going to explain it, but yeah. Cassandra Nova. She's dead. What else can you do with her character? Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Would be cool to see him. But maybe. I don't know. It would be cool to see both of these Spider-Man interact at one point. Isaiah Bradley would be cool, and his nephew would be cool to see them both interact. But once again, I don't really know. I'll put them in as maybe. Punisher. He's one of the street level characters. This character cannot die no matter how damage he gets butted up in him. He's a main character that will stay. Muse, I feel like he has potential to come back, but I don't know. They handled him so poorly in Born Again, but yeah. The Defenders, they probably will come back. Jessica Jones is coming back at least. And after the Iron Fist episode in Eyes of Wakanda, I hope we get Danny Rand back, and then Luke Cage, hopefully he comes back too. And then we have the Thunderbolts, which we have a few Thunderbolts on our list with Bucky and Ghost, but the few other characters, Yelena, Red Guardian, U.S. Agent, and Sentry, they haven't been on this list yet. So they are actually here to stay. Because we could probably get some of the characters like Bucky or maybe Red Guardian killed off, but honestly, I don't know if I really see that. And I think we can get more stories with the Thunderbolts moving on in the MCU. Doctor Doom. Honestly, I don't really know where to put this character because we haven't seen him yet. And I'm gonna put him as most likely because we've heard rumors that he might continue being we might see Robert Downey Jr. playing Doctor Doom in the MCU moving forward after Doomsday. So forget this isn't nothing. Happy Hogan, pretty cool character, but I think that the guy might be over with acting. Silver Surfer. Yeah, I think that she might be one of the few characters coming back. They said that they're gonna do a spin-off with her, like a special presentation. So there could be something with her. Now we have Sylvie. Debatable if she decides to come back. Kid Loki, possibly for like Young Avengers or something. Mobius, I probably don't see him coming back. It would be lovely to have him, but I really don't know. I'll probably put Stay Dead. Taserface, yeah, dead. Zeus and Hercules. I'm gonna kind of pair them together. I don't think Zeus and Hercules are probably gonna come back. They kind of fumbled them. If they're able to bring them back and they're able to do them right, then maybe. But for now, they're going to stay dead. For me, at least. The X-Men from X-97. Now, technically, I have some feeling that they're going to do these characters in live action. To where basically, this is the versions of the X-Men that are going to be the new X-Men in the MCU. We'll still get them in animated form, but it'll, like, fall into all of the MCU events. So I'll put this one in here to stay. T'Challa. T'Challa, he's definitely going to be back to stay. You know, I know they're probably going to age him up to be the next Black Panther, to be the next King of Wakanda. As to how they're going to do that, I have no clue. But it's going to be interesting to see. Billy and Tommy, Wanda's kids. Would be lucky to have him. But I don't really know. Matt Murdock, Daredevil. Yeah, he is born to stay. He is here to stay. Born to stay, I should say. This character, he's gonna go right up there. Just, actually, matter of fact, yeah, these are the top characters that are definitely coming back in the MCU, that are here to stay for the next saga of the universe. And then finally we have Michelle Pfeiffer as Janet Van Dyne. And do I think she should be recasted? And yeah, I think she should be recasted, so we can get the comic accurate version of Janet Van Dyne. So we can have the comic accurate versions of Ant-Man the Wasp with Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne, not Scott Lang and Hope Van Dyne. So, and that's basically who my tier list is. Now, hear me out with They Stay Dead, maybe, and most likely. Those are characters that, I don't see a future with, but then there's some characters that I kind of do see something with. But then, with the Here to Stay characters, and recasting, I see a future for them of what they could do. So really my top characters that I really want to see recast are King T'Challa, Black Panther, Steve Rogers, Captain America, Tony Stark, Iron Man, Flash Thompson, Hank Pym, Janet Van Dyne, Cassie Lang, Nick Fury, Hulk, Black Widow, Hawkeye, Scott Lang, Ant-Man, and Hope Van Dyne, Ant-Man, Wasp. And then as for the characters that I am excited to see in the MCU moving forward are the Fantastic Four, Tom Holland's Spider-Man, Charlie Cox, Daredevil, Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin, Deadpool, Wolverine, Punisher, the Thunderbolts, Kate Bishop, Winter Soldier, Ghost, Doctor Strange, Shang-Chi, Falcon, who is also the new Captain America, Red Skull, Star-Lord, Scorpion, Vulture, Shuri's Black Panther, J. Jonah Jameson, Miss Marvel, Moon Knight, Werewolf by Night, Ironheart, Namor, the others, well, really just Gambit and X-23, the new X-Men, and T'Challa Jr. And so, yeah, I think that really all those characters on Here to Stay tier are the characters that, for now, at least what I'm thinking, are going to be the top characters that will continue the MCU forward, that will carry the MCU. Because if anything, I think all these characters were from projects that we all liked, and we're also thinking that we could possibly see something with them in the future. So, I'm excited. I'm excited to see some of these stories and these characters. So, that is all for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. If you could like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.